Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, Wednesday at approximately 6:45 p.m., Sulphur Springs Police Department received multiple 911 calls in reference to multiple gunshots at the Spring Valley Apartments in the 800 block of Fuller Street. 911 callers also reported that one person had been shot. Officers arrived on the scene and applied first aid to the shooting victim until EMS arrived. KSST is not releasing the victim's name at this time. The suspects in the shooting had already fled the scene in what witnesses say were two different vehicles. Officers received conflicting witness accounts on the makes, models, and color of the suspect vehicles. Investigators are in the early stages of this investigation and are still gathering information about this offense. The victim was transported to Christus Mother Frances Hospital in Tyler. The victim's condition, reported to investigators, is that he is in a stable, non-life-threatening condition. Witnesses lead investigators to believe that this crime was drug-related. If anyone has information regarding this offense, please call Detective Renault at the Sulphur Springs Police Department. That number, 903-439-3832. Also, Crime Stoppers will pay a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of suspects in this case. You can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 903-885-2020. The side of an FM 275 North business sustained significant damage as the result of a vehicle crashing into it overnight Wednesday, according to Sheriff's Department reports. Hopkins County officials after midnight received information that a vehicle had struck a building at 4678 FM 275 North in Cumbie. One 911 caller reported the whole side of the building looks like a car drove through it, according to sheriff's reports. Driver apparently abandoned the vehicle inside Cravings Fish Fry after crashing into it. The Texas Department of Public Safety reported to still be investigating the crash. Officials at the Sulphur Springs DPS office said they could not comment on the crash as it's still an active investigation. A pre-dawn post on business owner Sandy Ramsey's Facebook page stated the driver had yet to be accounted for. Ramsey stated they're still looking for the driver, but looks like that the person does not have a driver's license or insurance. Ramsey was noted to say that we'll be calling the insurance company when they open to see where we go from here. 10 Sulphur Springs High School Health Occupation Students of America students competed in the regional HOSA competition held at McKinney North High School last Friday and Saturday. 8 placed in the top 10 in their respective categories, either individually or part of a team. Heather Bowen, Braylee Vickery, Shelby McCormick, Brianna Irving, Avery Moss, and Chella Moya competed in public service announcement and placed 6th out of 43. Janiyah Gatlin placed 9th out of 40 for job-seeking skills. Harley Speed placed 8 out of 31st for medical photography. Raydon McCormick competed in research to persuasive speaking, and Mason Elam competed in clinical specialty. Sponsors for that group are Bryn Smith, Brianna Williams, and Deanna McCoy. City of Sulphur Springs residents who need to get rid of household items too big for regular trash collection will want to mark April 13th through the 18th on their calendars, and they do that every year. The City of Sulphur Springs Thursday morning announced Monday through Saturday, April 13th through the 18th, as Spring Cleanup Week for city residents. Hours will be 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Cleanup is typically conducted at a site 1/4 mile east of Flowserve. A few guidelines have been established over the years so that Sulphur Springs residents will know what is and isn't acceptable before they arrive. Appliances are typically accepted, provided they do not have refrigerant in them. Those that do must provide documentation that the item has been inspected and the refrigerant has been removed. Paint, batteries, tires, and other household hazardous waste are also on the usual list of things that are not accepted. Well, there's a new landowner small acreage education series that will be starting March 3rd in the area. With the purpose of providing educational opportunities, the Hopkins County Extension Office is offering a comprehensive series with topics related to new landowners and small landowners, including pond management, livestock, beekeeping, vegetable gardening, backyard poultry, and others. The series will be distributed in 5 one-hour monthly sessions. Series will be starting at 6 p.m. on March the 3rd at the Hopkins County Extension Office located at 1200B Houston Street in Sulphur Springs. Cost of the series is $20 for individuals and $25 for couples. You can register by calling the Hopkins County Extension Office at 903-885-3443, and drinks will be provided. Sulphur Springs Mayor, on behalf of the Sulphur Springs City Council, this week officially proclaimed February as Black History Month in Sulphur Springs and urged all residents to join together in making a period of rededication to the principles of justice and equality for all people. And it was noted that 2020 marks the 94th annual celebration of Black history. It was done first in 1926 when Carter G. Woodson instituted Negro History Week, the second week in February, to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. First official Black History Month was announced in 1976 by President Gerald Ford. The Blue Blazes drill team at Sulphur Springs High School is hard at work on this year's spring show coming up in late April at the high school auditorium. Wednesday at a news conference at J. Hodge Chevrolet, Blue Blazes director Christy McCullough and Bill Owens with J. Hodge Chevy discussed the annual show and a new ticket opportunity available due to the sponsorship of J. Hodge Chevrolet.
The Blazes are in spring semester mode, which equates a lot of things for us, but mainly spring show. And so we've already been working on learning our finale and started our opener and working on all those production numbers, and I'm just ready to bring a nice, new, fresh, we think, exciting show to Sulphur Springs this year.
Do you pretty much hit the ground running when you get back from Christmas holiday?
We really do. We really do. There's so many different facets to spring show. I start planning this year's show and theme and what we're doing, pretty much last year before we ever get through with the other one. The ideas start coming, but as far as the actual physical work and everything, we hit it right when we get back from Christmas break. It's a huge undertaking every year, but it's one that we just love doing and love creating. The girls get to create, I get to create, and while we love football season, it's just totally different atmosphere when we go to practice every day because there's different types of routines, different types of dances that go on, and so it takes us all semester to work on it.
Now, you keep your secrets, but what can you tell us about the spring show?
Well, I can tell you the theme because we have announced that to the girls and everything, but this year's theme is Beyond the Velvet Rope. And we're doing all about the lifestyles of a VIP and kind of that life of what goes beyond the velvet rope that some of us commoners, I guess, don't get to see, on the red carpet and what happens. So everything from their travel experiences they get to their personal shopping sprees to even some of the pitfalls and downfalls that come with it, but just kind of the perks and privileges and everything that go with being a VIP, and hopefully let our audience live vicariously, maybe a lifestyle that they would normally get to live for a night and just kind of enjoy the luxury of things. So
When will this be coming up?
April 24th and 25th. It's the last weekend in April this year, and we're doing it 2 nights as always and presenting, and hope that everybody will come out at least one of the nights, if not both, and support the girls.
When should people think when can they buy tickets?
We'll probably, actually, we're doing some new things with tickets this year because of the theme of show. And so we're probably going to start selling a little bit earlier this year. We are going to probably looking at the 1st of April. Usually we wait till right before show to kind of start it, but we're going to be doing some online sales this year. We started it last year, but we're really going to promote that this year for those people that, can't get to the school or don't maybe see a Blaze all the time to get tickets from. We're going to do some online sales. We're going to keep our general admission ticket like we always do. We're going to keep what we started the year we were in the gym with the construction of the auditorium, and we started a VIP ticket then, which was kind of the floor ticket, which just gives them early admission to come in and pick their seats and everything. But then something new and exciting that we're doing this year because of the theme of show, and again, kind of want to do that VIP experience. We're going to offer right now what we're calling a platinum VIP ticket, which is going to kind of be an experience as well. We're going to, the ticket will be good for both nights of show, and it will have some different perks that go with it. I'm not willing to release that yet because we're still working out those kinks, but it'll be a pretty good little package to get. But one of the big things that I'm excited about with this ticket is the ticket holders, it will entitle them to kind of a pre-party VIP only reception before the show with hors d'oeuvres provided by our culinary department at the high school. They've already signed on to do that with us. We'll have a big tent for them to come into, and just kind of the whole VIP swag bag giveaways we're hoping for experience and everything. And that couldn't be possible without this gentleman and sitting next to me. So that's one reason we've got him here today is Jay Hodge and Chevrolet and Mr. Owens have graciously agreed to sponsor that for us and be a title sponsor for our show this year and make that experience for our audience that choose to buy that ticket opportunity. So I'm really excited about this experience and our partnership with them. And he has a little personal stake in it, but in Blazes with his daughter. But yet at the same point, Jay Hodge has been a great supporter of SSISD in general. And I'm just real proud to extend the relationship with the Blazes and everything.
All right, Bill, we know you're very much involved in things going on at the high school and the Blue Blazes.
Well, the older I get, the more I love my God, my country, my family, and this community right here.
Yes.
I mean, it's the best place in the world to live and the best school district there is anywhere, and the Blue Blazes are the best. I know of several of those girls personally, and they've known them for a long time. And I've seen the spring show even before Allie was involved. If you haven't been to that spring show, you need to go. It's quite an event, and they put on a great show. But we're glad to be a part of it, and Ms. McCullough does a great job. The kids work hard, and it's just a good thing all around.
Seems like when they see their first spring show, they're really surprised that something like that is in this community.
Yeah, I was shocked because you got the music and the
want.
lights and the action, the performances are great. The whole thing is a first-class show that you'd pay 10 times more to see something similar, if you were going to pay for it in Dallas or somewhere. So, it's first class, and everybody needs to come see it.
Firsthand the kind of work that goes into, they make it look so easy, out on the field and when, during the spring show and stuff, but there's a ton of work.
There's a ton of work involved in that, and if you want to call it homework, they're working on those routines at the house, and every day they're working. They get up early in the morning. Sometimes Allie's out of the house sometimes at 6 o'clock and doesn't get home till late. They really put in the hours and the effort to make it a great show. And it is.
Yeah, it's something that your dealership here is very much, likes to be a part of.
Oh, absolutely. We, like she said, the entire school district and the football, yeah, but got a little special place in my heart for the drill team. Little Allie is, she got drill team captain. We're proud for her. And all of her friends that are involved in it, man, they're just a great group of kids.
All right. And great support. You couldn't do the things you want to do without the support.
There's no way I wanted to tag in on what Mr. Owens was saying. The fact that I don't think a lot of people realize when they come and sit at show that it is a community supported event, not just by people coming to the audience, but financially. School budget money doesn't allow us to use any budget money on show because it's considered a fundraiser because we charge admission to come in, much like when the theater does like a play or their musical, it's kind of that same thing. So our funding for the show is strictly on the ad sales for our program that the girls are doing right now and sponsorships such as the one that we've gotten here and from some other places in town. Otherwise, we couldn't put on the show that we put on. And so I always tell the girls, how important it is for us to, yes, we go out and solicit those funds, but at the same point in time, we try to do something in return for the community. Part of that being the show, but part of that being the community service that we do throughout the year at other places. Because I want the girls to grow up being active members of their community and realizing that, that money just doesn't come for free, that we need to, pay our respects and pay our thank yous for it. So we're always very appreciative of any of our sponsors at any level coming in, the people, the businesses in town, and the families that purchase the ads that go in our program, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do the production that we do. And so we're very blessed to live in a community that supports us the way that they do.
Takes a lot of money for those old wow moments. Right?
They don't come cheap, and I'm finding out they are getting more and more costly. So I'm like, girls, can we sell a few more ads? Because I found a new special effect we want. So we're trying because we just want to bring something to the community that and the school that they can be proud of and that they support year after year. And it's really funny. I was sitting at lunch the other day, and a student who I didn't even know, a young man, said, "Miss Mack, when's spring show this year?" And I told him, he said, I got to put that on the calendar because I'm working, and I worked last year and I missed it, and I got to be there this year. And so when we make that kind of the impact on the students and get them involved, and there's a lot of students involved in our show, not just Blazes, but my dance classes, my new girls for next year, my crew that, doesn't get any kind of glory except when they're on stage doing the wobble or something, backstage making that show run. And so it's a pretty big cast, and it involves a lot of our student body, and I would like to see it involve more as it continues to grow, but just very blessed at the response we have from it year after year.
There's so many lines that you've had come through. I forget the number now, but you have so many X's out there that just will not miss this show.
Oh, they do. They come out sport. We're currently in our 58th year of the Blue Blazes, and I've been blessed to be a part of this organization. This is my 14th year now. I can't believe that, but been blessed to be a part of it. And we have a lot of alumni that come out and help with, like, our Blaze Buddies are involved in it, and they help backstage with that, or they'll help in the ticket sales, or taking tickets at the door. We have those that just come out and support and watch and are a part of the audience and are always there to support us and everything. And then I've got several moms this year that are alumni that have daughters on the team this year, and so that's been a very interesting, fun dynamic to hear their stories versus the stories now, and and everything, and see them get to share that with their daughters. And so it's definitely a family-oriented organization, I would say, and just love the support of the alumni that reach out and good job and attaboy, and like to see it going on. And I always try to stress to the girls how important what they're doing now determines that there's another 58 years going on. We got to keep that going, and so past, present, and future are very well intertwined in an organization such as this, and it's a very exciting and wonderful thing to be a part of.
All right, Bill, one more pitch to get people to come to that spring show.
Well, it's an extravaganza. The lights, the backdrops, the set, the music, everything about it is first class. And these ladies, these young women, really put their heart into it and do a fantastic show that is really worth seeing. I encourage you to come see it.
All right, very good. Anything else to add, Christian?
No, I'm good. Come out and see us and support these young ladies. Like I said, they work all semester. Bill said early morning, afternoons, and so they deserve a full, packed house, and they deserve that standing ovation at the end of finale. And we're appreciative of the support that we already get, but we'll always be happy and embrace even more. So come out and support us April 24th and 25th.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be there.
Hopkins and Delta County share a Texas state park, and at the park this month there's astronomy, archery, hiking, Dutch oven cooking, and lessons on snakes. Let's find out more from Park Ranger Steve Killian.
One thing we have here in Texas is a huge variety of parks, and we have experiences galore. I was fortunate enough to manage Brazos Bend State Park, which is the home of the American alligator. It's southwest of Houston, about 45 minutes from downtown, but it's like you're in another world when you drive through the gates. There's an awesome staff there, and I would recommend that all the listeners take a trip. It's great maybe for spring break, this summer, or just for a long weekend. Houston's a fun place, so if you go to Houston, Sugarland area, be sure to pay a visit to Brazos Bend State Park and see the large alligators that are native to Texas.
So the home of the American alligator, and that is the southeastern part of Texas, or the Brazos?
It's Brazos Bend is about 45 minutes southwest of Houston. So that's a cool place. And then I managed Enchanted Rock State Natural Area, and that is a glorious location. It's a billion-year-old batholith, which means it's this huge chunk of granite that has all the limestone has weathered off of it, and it was protected, and now it's exposed. And it's been a magical place for the Native Americans and also the settlers. When we found it, when we came to this part of the world, we were also mesmerized by Enchanted Rock. So for eons, humans have been drawn to that. And I was fortunate enough to manage that. And then I moved to Garner State Park, which is the busiest park in Texas. It has a spring-fed river that flows right through it, the Frio. So these hot summers, think about tubing the Frio. It's a magical, fun place to go.
You brought up something else that sounds kind of magical, and we didn't really know how you pronounced it.
The Feng Shui, the program that we have. Well, it's defined as wind water. It's a way of being. It's a Chinese term. So our interpreter found that combination of feelings was perfect for her program on snakes. So the most misunderstood probably animal that we have in Texas. We have many varieties of non-venomous snakes. Most snakes that you see are non-venomous. There's only a handful that are venomous, and because of that handful, then the rest of these creatures get a bad rap. But they're very important to our ecosystem.
Do we have snakes at the Cooper Lake State Park?
Yes, because we have a natural environment, and we want snakes to be there. And there's a chance that you may see a snake if you're hiking a trail. The key is you just give it a wide berth, because that is their native environment, and that's what makes Cooper Lake State Park special. Because you can see bobcats, you can see multiple species of snakes, rough green snakes. You might see a copperhead, which is venomous, but just give it a wide berth and stay on the trails, and everything will be just great.
Do we have any panthers?
I would say yes. We have cougars that will move through the area. They have a large range, so they've passed through the park. I don't think we have any a resident population, but they do move up and down the South Sulphur River bottoms.
Do we have any bears?
Bears. I don't think we have any bears in this part of Texas yet, but that will probably change. The populations in Arkansas and in Oklahoma are growing, and they're going to migrate back to their native habitat. Northeast Texas was native habitat to the black bear of North America.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Well, if you're thinking about going out to Cooper Lake State Park and finding some recreation there, you might want to know some things that are coming up on the calendar. Okay,
at Doctors Creek, which is in Delta County, we have the Feng Shui, which we're going to talk about snakes. We have wetlands and biodiversity. That was earlier in the month. We had a program on Red Riding Hood hike, which is a cool hike through the woods. The Red Riding Hood hike will be tomorrow, Friday, and then the freeze tag, which is a cool game that you can play with our interpreter, is on Saturday. And then on Sunday we have a program on the toothache tree, the willow, the black willow. And then we have a program on Valentine's Day with a nature twist on the 14th, of course. And then on the 22nd at Doctors Creek, we have an astronomy program where you can gaze at the stars and hear star stories. And then on the 28th, we have Arts in the Park where you can bring the kids out and you can get involved in making art as well. And then we have a leap year special event where we're going to geocache and go on a high-tech treasure hunt at Doctors Creek.
And a time capsule?
The time capsule would be a geocached item that's hidden in the park, and then you use your GPS unit to find it. So that term, the high-tech treasure hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the day, people would use maps. Now we have GPS units.
Neat.
Okay, at South Sulphur during the month. On February 1st, it's already passed, but we had a hike for heart. So it's very important to stay active and healthy, and what better place to do that is hiking a trail at Cooper Lake State Park. And then we also had a program, Reading with a Ranger, which is self-explanatory, but it's important that kids are read to on a daily basis.
February, I guess, is Library Lovers Month.
There you go. So books are important. So read to your kids, read, and your life will be better. On the 5th, we had a program on monarch butterflies, which is a very amazing creature, and that's a story for another day. These creatures will migrate from Canada all the way to Mexico and back, and multiple generations. Yes,
amazing.
It is amazing. And then on February the 8th, which is Saturday, we have a Dutch oven program at it's the South Sulphur unit, so you can come learn how to cook the cowboy way and also sample some of the cuisine that we prepare. And then on Sunday, we have a program on the full moon. I think we have a snow moon happening very, very, very soon. And then on the 14th, we're playing on the Valentine's theme, Cupid's archery. So come out to the park and learn how to safely shoot a bow and arrow. February 22nd, we have Walk Your Dog in Wildlife, where you can take your pup and hike the trails. And a lot of people come to Cooper Lake State Park and they hike, and they love to bring their animals. And then we have another hike at the end of the month. And at the very first weekend of March, we're having a program on wild hogs. I know that's a big topic in Texas.
We love our wild hogs, don't we?
I don't know. They like to root up places that we mow and keep manicured. There's an area, park headquarters at South Sulphur. When you come visit us, you'll see where the wild hogs have paid us a visit. So that's going to cost us man hours, labor time to prepare that, reseed it, and then go. So they cause a lot of damage, and they cause a lot of damage to farmers as well, and they're non-native.
But so what is their ecological purpose?
Well, they don't have an ecological purpose in North America. They're an invader. They shouldn't actually be here, and as a result, they outcompete the white-tailed deer and a number of other species. And they eat what the native species eat, and they just push them out. So the wild hogs, I know there's a lot of work being done to reduce the population, and that's ongoing. And we are faced with the same problem at Cooper Lake State Park as all the farmers who are listening as well. We're all battling the wild hog problem.
So many people who live on the fringes of town, have them come up in their yards.
Well, they will. They'll root up your yard, your flower beds, anything that's moist and wet. They'll root it up, and you'll wake up the next morning, and instead of seeing a beautiful snowfall, you'll see your yard destroyed. You don't want to see that, but that does happen, and that's a cost that we all pay for.
Well, today, such as it is with the snowfall and the silence of it coming in the night and surprise in the morning, it just makes us think a little bit more about where we live and the environment that the earth offers us, all different kinds of landscapes and weather.
That's right, and that's one thing that Texas State Parks can provide our citizens, different landscapes, all the way from the far west Texas where the geology is exposed. Cactuses are clean to these dry ecosystems. Beautiful, beautiful. Big Bend Ranch State Park. It's a journey to get there. It takes some effort to get to Big Bend Ranch State Park. But I promise you, if you go there, you will have a pure Texas experience. Okay, I love that place. It's near Presidio, and if you look on the map, Presidio is a border city between Mexico and Texas. So, Big Bend Ranch State Park. Put that on your bucket list. And then we have the piney woods of Dangerfield State Park, where we have 100-plus tall, majestic loblolly and shortleaf pine trees. We have what we have at Cooper Lake, where we have the post-oat savannas and everything in between. So, and we're building more state parks as we speak because of the proposition that was passed.
Yes, because of what voters did.
We're protecting these parks for present and future generations to love and enjoy.
And if you should have reservations about making trips out of our country right now, there's plenty to see in Texas.
Oh, there's plenty to see and do. I've done some traveling, and I would recommend that traveling is your best investment because it opens your mind. The experiences, well, you can take those with you for a lifetime. You know, you can see how other people live, and it will just make you just a better human being. So I'd recommend traveling in the state, traveling in the U.S., and traveling overseas.
Thank you for coming in, Steve.
That's always fun.
Killian.
Yes.
Is that said properly?
Killian, Steve Killian. Yes, that's close. Okay.
Thank you for sharing with us about Cooper Lake State Park and all the other places in Texas you've seen. Will you come back again?
I will.
Okay.
That's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for joining me, and so long, everybody.